Hey there, Xandats. Today we're gonna go over some pretty naughty, but also very funny and useful secret spots on all 6 of the different maps currently in the game, including spots you probably never thought you could get to. But first, let's just quickly talk about movement skills to help you get to these spots. For the Agent, the Warp Blade and Blade Dash are great movement options as they both give you a lot of controlled movement in any given direction. The Falling Lotus is a bit worse, but definitely also usable. For Marksman, you gotta go Wind to get to a lot of the naughtier spots, as Electric Marksman doesn't have much movement. The Wind class alternate movement ability is super good because you can float quite a distance and go from spot to spot, while the Wind Seal gun gives you fairly controlled upwards momentum. I wouldn't recommend the Wind Dash though, as you have enough horizontal movement already with the float, and the Wind Nade is mediocre too, as it can be quite uncontrollable and has a long cooldown. Personally, I think the Wind Marksman is the best option for exploring secret spots. For Juggernaut, there's one answer only: mini-frags. Using regular rocket jumping, or more importantly, using the nade riding technique I showcased in my last video, you can get to a lot of spots really easily. So let's jump right into it. We're starting off with High Suludlan, and yes, I'm ignoring that L because I don't like pronouncing it and I'm not in the habit of taking L's. So on Suludlan, you can get up to this little window spot with a double jump and a movement skill. You can potentially get up there with only the double jump, but it is very difficult. And if you don't get up there quick enough, you're pretty much just a sitting duck for enemies. Of course, you can go in these windows on either side of this circular structure in the middle. A favorite of mine is using a mini frag as a little elevator to get to the spot. You can actually also go on the rim of the circular structure, but do be warned that it's a restricted area, so you will die if you stay for 4 seconds, and be careful of falling in. You can jump on the rim and then into the windows though, if you don't want to use movement abilities. On the other side of the map, you can jump off the bridge to get to this little statue. It's actually a pretty decent spot as you're out of view if you crouch, and you can easily ambush anyone coming by, or anyone going for heavy or battery. You can of course go on top of these trees and on parts of this building, but that's not so useful since it's restricted, so I won't bring too many of these spots up. Moving on though, a pretty fun spot is on top of the golden snake statue. It's pretty easy to get to from the bridge and gives you vantage of the whole map. Of course, you are very exposed though, and will most definitely get sniped. You can also get onto the statue from the bottom, with some nice jumping or with movement skills. You can use mini-frags to get up there. And alternatively, you can also go on this little statue and then wind float to the snake. Speaking of floating, I actually got an awesome floating kill from the snake statue the other day. In either spawn, you can go on this little ledge where you can kill anyone coming by, and see most of the map through the window. You can also get up to this spot by slide jumping from the middle golden thing. Octavia, get out of my way. I'm doing a video and you're being quite rude. Just kidding. So yeah, you can also do it on the other side. The next spot is through the wall of that spot, as you can hide in this bar and ambush any traversing Xandats or anyone looking to get armor. Pretty neat. You could also just play bartender here though, no shame in that. Nearby there's also this little plant you can hide behind, and again ambush anyone coming up the stairs. In both spawns, there are these little offshoot paths off to the side that you can hide in if you're not much of a fighter, or if there's a roaming super nearby you'd rather stay clear of. You can also use this little parkour path to get up to the top bridge faster. And there's even a similar path on the backside that you can go on to hide or to get a nice snipe angle. Also, if you're not feeling like fighting, it's totally okay to just go accept your demise in a restricted area. Be sure to go out in style though. Next map is Wellspring Biotech. On this map you can go on top of this little golden statue with some good jumps. I recommend going to the rightmost part where it's most elevated. You can actually also go on top of the identical golden structure in both spawns in Suludlan. I just forgot to show you guys that. Again, similar to Suludlan, you can go on this rim. It will say restricted area on some parts, but just nudge forward and you'll find a sweet spot. Don't go too far though, because there is an invisible barrier that will push you off. Luckily, it also prevents you from falling to your death. So, you can also go on this little bookcase. You can go on the other bookcases in the room. You can bully KFC. You can go above this doorway for an ambush.
30 seconds to victory.
And if you're good, you can get a triple kill, chilling out in this room on your little hidey spots.
Double kill.
Near the middle of the map, you can jump over this cliff as a little shortcut, or you can actually go on the cliff as well as the surrounding area. Of course, you can also go in this little golden thing, in case you want to. Do be careful of any restricted area messages though, because there's so many cool spots that you can get to, but you just can't stay that long, sadly. You can go on the cliffs surrounding here, but they will all be restricted area. Surprisingly though, even the bots know some of the hiding spots. You can go up on this little spot with a nice double jump, and you can even crouch to go inside for an even sneakier fit. To make it easier to get up, you can again go on the golden thing and jump from there. Just outside that room, you can go on the little ledge above the door by jumping from the side. And in the central corridor, you can go on this little plant lamp and jump on up to a great vantage point. You are gonna need a movement skill for this one though, and don't forget that snipers are your worst enemy. Yeah. You can also go all the way up top, but again, restricted. I know I'm showing many restricted spots, but just hear me out here. Sometimes these spots can be good to go just for a second to get out of combat or confuse your enemy. And with the Wind Marksman, you can actually alternate between restricted spots without ever dying if you use your float right. You can also go on this little rim thingy, although it's kinda boring. And you can hide behind these TVs. You can actually hide behind most TVs in the game. They exist on multiple maps. Next up is everyone's favorite ice map, Site Agalon. First up, you can go on this little box in the back corner of one of the spawns for a decent snipe angle. You can also go on top of these circular fence posts, and if you equip a sniper and actually know how to use it, you should be quite deadly. You can also jump around between these 3 posts, but don't try to go to the other 2 because for some reason they're restricted area. In the other spawn, you can go on these boxes to get some height and guard the battery. Or you can go on the other side of the entrance on this ice. Another fun spot in this spawn is this little ledge on this garage looking thing. Pretty good vantage point, and you can also go on top of some of the fence posts over here. Just be careful. Dart-Killerz also found a super sneaky spot over here where no one will be able to find you unless they know the spot. Visibility is pretty bad here, but if you emote you can look around the corner.
You can emote and you can see over there.
Next, we have a slightly warmer map, Sundown Forge. On this map, in one of the spawns, you can go on top of these shelves for a nice vantage. You can actually go on each individual level of the shelves, so find what height works best for you to obliterate your opponents. Solantis, get out of here. We don't have time for this. As I was saying, you can also get on top of this little platform here, and you can get on top of the shelves on the other side of the room over here. There's actually kind of a big hitbox on this crate right here, meaning sometimes people down there can't shoot you if you stand right, but you can't shoot them either. As you can see though, some players like Xenox here know these spots too, so watch your back. In the other spawn, you can see a player spawning in twice for some reason, and you can go in these weapon cases if you feel like it. More importantly though, you can go on these monitors over here and ambush anyone who dares challenge you. Just be careful you don't fall down the side, because the hitboxes down there is a bit clunky and you might get stuck if you're panicking to get out. In the middle you can go on this little yellow arm thingy and camp the battery. You can get on top of other monitors in the map. And just as a fun fact, did you know you can see through this glass right here? Not bad if you're trying to get intel. Next, we're going to space at the Aruum station. This map has some pretty good spots, so listen up. First up, you can double jump to get to this ledge above the door. But you can take it even further than that. You can jump onto this white band on the pillar next to you, and even on top of the pillar, which is damn sneaky. Of course, don't forget that movement skills will always get you around faster. In the nearby spawn, you can also go on the yellow arms, just like on Sundown Forge, but you probably need a movement skill to do it. Hang around to the edge of the room and you'll be able to get on top of these pillars as well. There's actually quite a lot of these pillars all throughout the map, and they're all climbable and super useful, so just look out for them. Near the back of the spawn, you can chill on this little monitor back here, or you can even go in the little red area behind it. Pretty good snipe angle. You can climb on top of this obelisk. Just kidding, but it would be cool if you could. You can actually sort of hide inside the obelisk though, because you can go inside it, at least until someone destroys it. In the other spawn, you can go on top of this little door in the corner. Or you can go on top of this TV for a decent vantage. Near the spawn, you can actually also jump into this little pit and actually survive it if you jump on this ledge, until out of bound kills you. Notice though that it doesn't say restricted area. There's a few spots in the game that have different out of bound messages, like ignoring safety features of the map. And it actually gives you an even lower countdown to get out, in this case 3 seconds. Still, it's a good spot to go to confuse an opponent during a fight, and with a movement skill to give you just a tad bit of upward momentum, you should easily be able to get out. Right next to this, we have a really awesome spot as well. It's basically just a bunch of the pillars you can go on top of, but it's really nice because you can move around between them all. It's easiest to move around here with the wind alternate movement, but you don't need to. You can double jump around the whole place. Also, you can't just jump on this white band on the pillar and then all the way to the top. You don't need any movement skills to get up there. It also seems you can walk on several of the tiny ledges around, so you can basically walk from spot to spot and maneuver around without timed jumps. You can again go on the frames of these doors. Not a great spot, but you can do something. Unfortunately, you can't go on top of these TVs. There's a few that are a little tricky. In the middle area, you can get on top of some similar pillars as well. Finally, we have our newest, and dare I say, most beautiful map, Fastlane. The spawns in this map are nearly identical, so any spots I show you in one spawn will generally exist in the other spawn as well. You might know that you can get on top of the snack stand and this ledge above the door, but did you know you can get on top of the other door as well? Not bad. There's also some ledges up near the ceiling that you can double jump to for an even sneakier position. Even some of the devs are discovering it though, as seen by Guard Tower here. Look at that sneaky man. If you go on the neon sign off the side of the building, you can jump onto the building for another pretty sneaky spot. Feel free to jump around and get to different ledges around the building, but be careful about going on top of or behind the building, as that's going to be restricted. You can also get up here by jumping on the little AC units, and it's a bit easier to get up on the side that way. I did find one other spot on this map, but I only managed to get to it once. I did it by accident, and I was blinded while I did it, so it might be a bit hard to reproduce. Still, let me know if any of you guys figured out how to get to this billboard.
Are you out then? Are you not stuck anymore? Hold up.
Before ending this off, I just want to say that these spots have a lot of potential for sniping, camping, hiding, or just general fun. But once more people start finding out about them, they're probably gonna be less effective. Also, many of these spots are likely not intentional, so they may get patched in future updates. Finally, I just want to tell you guys that even if you are in a godly spot where no one could ever find you, you can still be seen by Recon abilities. These include the marksman's threat scanner and the sniper's Recon ability when they get a kill with it. The electric marksman ultimate is also pretty strong because it highlights all enemies on the map and gives the wielder the power to kill anyone no matter what spot they're in. In a second, you'll see me surprising Dart by using one of these Recon abilities the other day. But I hope you enjoyed, and be sure to like and subscribe if you did. Peace out.
Headshot.
Ah, like is chasing me. He's out for blood. I wonder if he'll find me up here. Where are you? Oh my god, he didn't see me. Oh, that deserves a teabag. Oh, that was great.